Hey everyone, welcome to our hands-free pitch test introduction video. In this video I'll run you through the main idea of HFPT, give you a quick demo and also give you an overview of some of the main features. So before we dive in, I'll just give you a heads up that in the menu here in the top right hand corner you'll find a link to our video tutorials. And these tutorials cover everything you need to know to get the most out of HFPT. Okay, so let's get started. The main idea of HFPT is that you get to practice your pitch recognition on the go. So while you're going for a run, or on your daily commute, or while you're at the gym, pretty much anywhere you can safely be listening to music, you can be pitch training. So one of the biggest benefits of this is it doesn't steal time away from practicing or playing your instrument. So how does HFPT actually work? The easiest way to explain this is just to demonstrate the setup and running of a simple test. So here on the home screen, we're currently set up for a relative pitch test that has a reference, C4, and 3 tests. You can think of each of these as being a bar of music that's currently set to play 4 beats per bar at 120 BPM. So to keep it simple, we're going to reduce the number of tests down to 1 and also reduce the speed to 60 BPM. This will give us more time to identify the test note before HFPT gives us the answer on the last beat of each bar. The next step is to set the test notes we'd like to work with, and this is done on the test setup screen. So here we are in our test setup screen, and you can see our reference note, C4, highlighted on the keyboard. You could use the guitar layout if you prefer, but we'll stick with the keyboard for today. You can see we currently have our reference note and 6 test notes that HFPT can choose from. So again, to keep it simple, we'll drop this down to just 2 test notes. So there's 2 ways we could do this. First, we could lower the highest test note. And you can see here on the keyboard we only have 2 test notes remaining. And second, we could remove notes from the scale. Again, leaving only 2 notes, the major second and the major third. So now we're finished with the test setup, we'll move on to the answer setup. The easiest way to set up your note names is to select your preferred interval naming convention from the preset list. Along with some common interval naming conventions, the list also has a custom preset that allows you to literally use any naming convention you like. So for example, if you'd rather call a diminished fifth the flat 5, it's not a problem, just check out our answer setup tutorial video and we'll walk you through it. So HFPT has been designed as much as possible to adapt to each individual's musical needs. So we generally try not to recommend any one specific path for everyone, but if you don't already know the traditional interval naming convention for the chromatic scale, it's probably the best place to start. And this is the option we'll use for our setup today. Okay, so we're almost ready to run our test, but first I'll just talk you through it one time, and then we'll give it a run so you can have a listen. So when I press the start button, HFPT is going to play the reference note for 4 beats and tell us the note name on the last beat of the bar. And with our answer setup, that's going to be a perfect first. Then HFPT will randomly select between our 2 test notes, the major second and the major third, play that note 4 times and tell us the note name on the last beat of the bar. And then repeat the cycle until we press stop. Okay, so let's give it a spin.
Perfect first. Major third. Perfect first. Major second. Perfect first.
Okay, now that we've given it a run, you can see that it's pretty simple. You just name the note in your head before HFPT gives you the answer on the last beat of the bar. And as you get better, you either add more notes, speed up the test, or both. Okay, before we finish up, I'll run you through a couple of the main features. We'll start here on the home screen. And as you've seen already, HFPT is a BPM-based pitch test. So we can have up to 16th notes. And run it up to 300 BPM. And we can also have up to 7 test notes, plus our reference note. On our test setup page, we can select the instrument we want our test to play. And you can see we have a large selection of instruments to choose from. And these instruments are the standard MIDI instruments that come built into every phone. In our scale dialog, we have an extensive preset list of scales and modes. Our common scales, our diatonic modes, and finally our other scales, including a custom preset. And the last thing I'll show you for today is we also have a basic audio mixer to adjust our volumes. So before I sign off, I'll just give you a little information about us. We're a recent indie startup, a husband and wife team, and our goal is to make pitch training as easy and as fun as possible for all musicians. So with this in mind, we've got lots of great features we'll be adding to HFPT in the future, and we'd just like to invite you all to join us as we grow HFPT from being the great little app that it is now into being a comprehensive pitch recognition tool for musicians. We hope you all have a great experience with HFPT, and if you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop us an email at support@hfpt.app. We're always happy to help. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for your time.